Hello everyone. I heard there were some questions about air-to-air combats and how you have some situational awareness against bogeys in front of you. So I decided to make a short video about it, showing off some stuff that you need to worry about when being in a dogfight. The mission is in Israel. It's a 4-ship Oka strike and a 2-ship escort. I'm the lead aircraft in the escort flight. Each of the 2 escort ships has 4 AMRAAMs and 2 Python 5s. The Pythons are long-range Israeli heaters. We're about to engage some hostiles. As you can see on the FCR on my 12 o'clock, I see a radar contact which just showed up. It's about 70 miles to my front. If you look to the HSD on the right, you will see that we're within hostile territory. The flot is marked about to 6 o'clock, like 20 miles. And to my 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we have some hostile threat circles for air-to-air SAM threats. So at this point I have noticed the hostile contact to my 12 o'clock and I go TMS up long to get a narrow beam and declare the target. It's gonna be declared as hostile, as you can hear from the AVEX, and I tell my flight about it. The package has to know that there are hostiles on the front. We have some F-16s behind us. That's actually the Oka strike. Just fencing in, since we didn't expect them to be that close to us. As you can see, the hostiles are at Angels 22, which is pretty common for MiG-29s. And then we find a second group of hostiles behind that at Angels 20. Sometimes it happens that the MiG-21s try to dive and get below you, but in this case they stayed on the same altitude, Angels 20. We were a bit above them, and since they only have some short-range missiles, mainly AIM-9s, for those Egyptian MiG-21s, we decide to not waste our first AMRAAMs on them, but change over to the Pythons, which is going to happen any minute now. Meanwhile, my co-pilot and I are just sorting the contacts and talking to other people in our package. I switch over to the TGP, but for some reason, in this case, it didn't lock onto the target. Probably because I was too far away. Now I'm going into exploded mode, which allows me to see that there are actually more ships in that first group. Turns out it's a 2-ship, judging from the ACMI, which we will look at later. Now we sorted it that my wingman takes the right contact, marked on the FCR with the little 2, and I'm using the left contact. Now we're just getting into range. I'm probably trying to fix my TGP, which didn't really work at the beginning. Then let's see what's gonna happen next. Now my radar actually identifies the target as a MiG-21, but I already know that from what AVEX told me. If you are not in dogfight mode, you need to remember to cool those Python 5s, otherwise they will not actually fire. So I did this manually. If you switch to dogfight mode, it will do it automatically. The Python 5s are ready. The range is about 15 nautical miles. As you can see, I'm just coming into the DLZ at 18 miles, 17 miles. I'm burning, getting some more altitude to get closer. Remember, you need to... What I'm currently doing is uncaging the seeker head. As you can see, it's flopping around. It doesn't have a solid lock yet. You could fire at it, but it's not 100% sure hit. And now it has a good lock on the heat target, heat source. And there goes my Python 5. So that's a Fox 2 at 12 nautical miles range, which is pretty awesome in itself. Now what I could usually do is notch, but I know that there's a second group behind that, so I just track the first target for a moment, and shortly I will switch to the second group that I saw earlier, so I can engage them. At the TGP you can now see that I actually hit the target. The MiG-21 is down. My wingman also cleared his MiG-21 as he's announcing over IVC. And there you can see I'm currently in TVS mode. It's track-wise scan, so I see some see where they're heading. The hostiles are currently not hot on me. By the way, for a second you saw an M on the RWR. That's name 120 that actually hit my teammate, thanks to the Oka flight. Happens, guys. There you can see I uncaged the seeker head really quickly on another MiG-21, fired, and it's gonna track. It's probably gonna hit. As a last thing, I'm firing an MRAM and one other MiG-21, and I start to notch and actually hook left back to the Oka flight to cover my ass, since I'm alone now, and I can't really track like the 4-ship that's used to be in front of me. You can now see some MiG-21s on my 6 actually locking me up. They are well outside of lethal range, so I can just burn a bit. Since I'm at Angels 30 and I actually have 2 full tanks under my wings, because we decided to make a long mission, I'm pretty heavy and I'm pretty slow at this point. I don't really go to Cat 1 because I don't expect to do any hard maneuvers at this point. MiG-21s aren't really any threat for us. Somewhere here I point out to the second flight that I have a MiG-21 that's probably going to be on my 6. So I asked them to check, actually they are 11 o'clock, but I say 1 o'clock. That's a little mistake that I did. Since I've passed the Oka flight, I'm now hooking back into the fight, and I see some targets exploding, which is a job well done by the Oka. We actually found out that there were 2 4-ships. You can see the second 4-ship there, and the 2-ship, which the 2-ship was destroyed at first. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to do in TVS you can send like 4 AMRAMs downrange and guide them all in, which is pretty awesome. But I think I mess it up a bit, but it works regardless. If you're in TVS mode and you team as right, short, then it switches between targets that are currently being tracked. And then you can just team as right, send off a missile, team as right, send off another one, team as right, send off another one, and you can see that the missiles are tracking. So I'm just getting into lethal range for my AIM-120s. You can see the first target is still marked red, which means it's being tracked on as well. So currently 2 targets are red. They're being tracked. Now this third one, I messed something up, but it's gonna work in a second again. And 2 missiles went pitbull, and the third one is now downrange. If you see an X crossed or like a line crossed through a contact in TWS mode, then it means your missile went pitbull and you can just turn around, and an X usually means that the target has been destroyed. Yeah, that's me hooking left again, looking at the HSD to find out what the other guys are doing, and looking at the explosions to my right, and that's pretty much everything. At this point I'm all out of missiles, and I'm just giving situational awareness for my flight, for the second flight. Looking at some targets, trying to find them. This one has been destroyed, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the video. So, if you have some questions, then just send me questions on Reddit or like YouTube, whatever, and I'll add some ACMI footage to the end of this. Cheers! So as I mentioned earlier, this is the ACMI footage from this flight. Yes, you can see there's Falcon 1-2, which is Amki, which is actually my wingman, and I'm Falcon 1-1. We are the escort people. We're in front of the 4-ship behind us. That's the Oka strike to my right, well, like my 6 o'clock actually. And we've just picked up those MiG-21s, and if you're gonna look at it, this is the first 2-ship that we engaged earlier. And this is actually Amki and me sorting right now. Amki's gonna take the right contact. I'm gonna take the left one. And then behind that, we find another 4-ship. And then there's gonna be more later on. So let's look at what's gonna happen here. Let me slow this down a little bit and switch over. As you can see, I'm tracking the green line as me, my radar, actually tracking the left target. And so I'm hot on him, around 12 nautical. I'm sending down my Python 5, which is gonna be hitting him. He's going defensive. I'm not sure how he's gonna know that I've sent the Python down. It's probably just prematurely trying to defend. Amki's Python is gonna hit, and any minute now you should see an AIM-120, which was directed at the MiG-21. But since the MiG-21 was destroyed, Amki's gonna eat it. And bam. That's it. Sorry for him. This happens sometimes. We can talk about the reasons another time. So this is my second Python going for the far target. And then an AIM-120 going for the short target. And the Oka is actually sending down an AIM-120 at this MiG as well. So this is the part where I'm hooking left the first time, letting the Oka flight take out some stuff on my 6. At this point, I think Eagle or T-Reg is gonna notch left and destroy the MiG-21 that's chasing me. Let's see, there's one AIM-120 for the far target, which is decent as well. And there's Eagle. Eagle is responding to my hail, destroying that one. And now you need to look at this. I mean, this is gonna be awesome. This is why you don't want to have MiGs anywhere close, because this happens. It's an AIM-9P, which is pretty terrible. Then you don't have any radar warning. You can only visually acquire it. And actually, let's see how close it's gonna get to T-Reg. It's been a little bit of a mistake of situational awareness on our part, since we didn't clear his 6 and it went within 100 feet. Let's see if I can get it any closer. 260, 178 feet was the closest, I think. That's pretty close. And if it was like 20 feet closer, it would have exploded and actually probably fragmented a bit and damaged him. So he was a bit lucky. Now let's switch over to me again and speed this up a bit. This first MiG-21 was destroyed that was chasing me, and the Eagle is gonna chase another one. Meanwhile, Dark Fiber probably destroyed some other MiGs. And I'm finding the second 4-ship. So we have a 2-ship, we have a 4-ship, and another 4-ship that was engaged by us. And this is the part where I'm sending down my AIM-120s downrange. Let's switch over to the MiGs and let's see what's gonna happen to them. Oh, T-Rex actually trying to get a kill here, but I think I deny him pretty well. So there's one AIM-120 hitting, there's the second one hitting, and here comes the third one. Where does it go? Yeah, it goes for the right target. So actually all of my missiles hit, which is pretty good on my part, so I'm patting myself on the back a bit. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I think there's only one MIG left. Oh no, 2 MIGs left. Oh yeah, it's just one. Just the one MIG. I think, yeah, T-Rex sending down the Python 4, and that's it. That's pretty much all, everything in the flight. What's gonna happen here? Is there anything else happening? No. Everything was destroyed. Sorry guys. Just came out of night shift, so I'm a bit sleepy. That's pretty much it.